I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, March the 11th, brought to you in part by Norbrook. Norbrook wants producers to be aware of new FDA antibiotic guidelines starting June 2023. So that's next June. You will need a script for all antibiotics, even penicillin, and other common products like Norbrook's popular Normycin 300 LA. When your prevention plan fails, reach for Norbrook. For more information, go to norbrook.com. Maybe next week, this war in the Ukraine that Russia has unleashed has been going on for 2 weeks now. It's totally upended our rally, and it's a black swan is what I'm calling it. Has nothing to do with anything fundamentally, beef markets or anything of the like. But it's caused a soaring of our grains and our fuels and our inputs as far as trying to raise cattle. And it's really turned everything upside down. And it seems like everything hurts the cattle market and nothing helps it other than less cattle. And we have very few cattle, and we have very few market-ready cattle. But we've got a lot of market-ready cattle coming on the cusp here in another month and a half or so. But so we've got to try to keep or retain or try to build some market position here, because they are definitely going to pull the rug out from under us towards the middle part of June, if not sooner. But they're going to keep taking every bit that they can take during this opportunity, and I'm talking about the packers taking it. And you can't blame them. I mean, it's their job to try to buy cattle as cheap as they can and sell beef as high as they can. But your grain stocks are down. Beef exports are up big, and a lot of it is the cow products. Cow prices are over the moon. Every day we see more sale barns selling slaughter cows over $1, the real high dressing kind of cows. And bulls selling from $1.10, $1.20, $1.30 and up. But that's what's really in demand right now. It's not so much your expensive middle meats and your rib products and things like that. People can't afford that. They're spending all their money filling their gas tanks up. But gas is at an all-time high that it got to early this week. Fertilizer also, it's 3 to 4 times higher than a year ago. Your fertilizer, and guys are looking at that. It's causing our manure prices to go higher. We've got this administration that wants to blame Putin for everything, and they don't want to enact anything that will help us. And they think it's our job to pay more for gas, and somehow that's helping those Ukrainian people over there. And I don't see any way how that's helping them at all. It's just costing us, because this Magoo administration fails to do anything about it. And they just keep listening to the green side, the really liberals, and they think that it's better to drill for more oil in the Middle East and places like that. Now that may seem like a different world, but it's the same planet, people. And why it's better for them to drill it over there, and then all the combustion to get it over here on those big tankers, which are not very efficient, rather than to drill it right here. It makes absolutely no sense to me at all. Let's talk about your board for Thursday. April live cattle futures down $1.67 at 135.90. June down $1.50 at 132.45. Your back months were down 2 cents is all on your farthest out, and down as much as 97 on your closer traded months. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see your cattle futures up some on Friday with some profit taking from these traders that they like to gouge and take advantage as often as they can too. March feeder cattle down 240 as your grains were up again. Closing at 150, 165. April was down 390 at 156 and a quarter. Going your back months of your feeder cattle, they were down 252 to down $4.12. Grains, corn was up 22 3/4 cents at 757 3/4 on your March. Beans up 13.5 at $17 even. Wow. Kansas City hard red winter wheat, after it went up there and got well into the $12 range a bushel, it's just collapsed after that and now down 54 cents at 10.52 and a quarter. I wouldn't be surprised to see it elastic right back up high again, because they do make a lot of the same type of winter wheat in the Ukraine, and those fields are not being tended as people are running for their lives, and that crop likely will not be harvested. But fat cattle trade, a little bit more trade, and I have to tell you that on Thursday there was a little bit of a rally in the cash, both on fat cattle and on feeder cattle, as we had some really nice reputation strains in some of our big auctions. They brought real handsome prices. I did hear more of 140 going on in the northern plains and by some of the majors at 140 even late in the day on Thursday, so that's kind of a positive. Now we can't forget that we're really tight on market ready supplies right now. Iowa had about 3,100 head confirmed on Thursday, 15,400 for the week. There's a lot of late day trades that we don't get to call confirmed that happened, that they get on the roundup later on, and then they add them onto the week, and we don't get to see that. They hardly had any in Iowa yesterday, or I should say Wednesday. They hardly had any for the week trade, and then they come out Thursday and they had 15,400. 138 to 140 was the price on the 3,100 that they confirmed on Thursday, and 220 dressed. Nebraska, about 1,700's all confirmed on Thursday, and for the week 29,600. That's a pretty good trade for them. 139 was the live price. 218 to 222 dressed. Neither Kansas or Texas had any confirmed sales on Thursday. 15,000 for the week in Kansas and 6,400 in Texas. Box beef cutout values, it seems, have found some footing, and so now they should be on the rally here for the next several weeks. But it was seasonally time for them to find some footing here for the last week or 10 days, and finally it looks like they have found some on a decent amount of trade. So you know, your Packers that did noted that your Packers margins, their profit margins, got the thinnest that they've been for a long time. They were only making $250 a head on the cattle that they were slaughtering, that they owned for maybe 3 days up to 2 weeks. So you know, it was tough times for them, and we feel bad for them, but hopefully they can get things turned back around now and start making some more money. Of course, they're going to this next week because box beef cutouts are up and the fat cattle market's down. But choice cuts on Thursday afternoon, $253.94, up $1.24. Selects up $258 at $247.37. Your slaughter has been really aggressive this week and haven't had any slowdowns as of yet. Now they're talking about a plant being dark on Friday and cooler cleaning and things like that. But we're still going to have an impressive week here. They've been real aggressive. 499,000 up through Thursday. That's 6,000 more than a week ago. 17,000 more than the same week a year ago. Your actual slaughter information come in for the week ending February 26th. Had your average dressed steer carcass weight at 918 pounds, which sounds big, but it's 3 pounds less than the previous report. Talk about what else is going on. That land that I've talked about here a few times in Gray County, Texas, east of Pampa, Texas, nearly 1,100 acres, about 1,076 acres there. And it's roughly 1,000 acres of crop ground, and a balance of it in native pasture. Would be good for hunting if guys are interested in doing something like that. Be good to plant some wheat up there. You can put it back to grass, do about anything you want to. That's pretty good country up there in the top of Texas, the North Texas Panhandle. All your mineral, water, and wind rights go with. Now I'm telling you guys this, if you want to get in on this, you can't dilly-dally. You've got to get in contact with John McDowell today, Friday, before midnight. He either has to have a phoned in bid or a bid emailed to him by the end of today, Friday. But to get in touch with him, get a hold of John McDowell 55 at gmail.com, and those bids are going to be opened up on Monday, and the owners are going to take a look at them at that point. I want to tell you guys also about Falling Timber Farms and the Ritter family, their 13th annual bull and female sale. It's going to be Saturday, March the 19th, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, March 19th, at kind of an unorthodox time, 5:30 Central Time, 5:30 in the evening Central Time. It's in Mathesville, Missouri, and they've got to have a top cut of yearling Hereford bulls there with genomic enhanced EPDs. They've got fall bred heifers. Those will be mostly Herefords. They've got some Baldy heifers on there. They've got bred cows. They've got cow-calf pairs. They've got a little bit of everything. If you guys are looking to really improve your herd quality, especially you smaller producers that just need a few top quality breeding stock to kind of improve your herd there, and you can go there to the farm, and that's going to be next Saturday, March the 19th, or go to dvauction.com, view and bid that sale right there, and check out more information at fallingtimberfarms.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index, brought to you by Margin Tracks by Midcon. Your real-time index based on the 800-pound steer late on Thursday set at 152.08, lost another 77 cents. Still clinging into the 150s when most of your 8-weight cattle are not bringing in the 150s, especially in the southern plains, but we've got enough premium quality type sales in the northern plains that are selling them out of sight that's holding that thing up there. But talk about some of your big sales on Thursday. How about winter livestock, Pratt, Kansas? Big sale for them, 5,700 head there. Look at this automated market report from Pratt, Kansas there, and then look at some of your best tested weights of steers, and it was heavily on the steers your run was, but 660 head of 6-weight steer calves in Pratt averaged 640 pounds with a weighted average price of $179.71. Very impressive, and that was just about $5 higher than the weighted average on the same weight group a week ago, and had a good sale a week ago. 975 head of 7-weight steers in Pratt averaged 757 with a weighted average price of $156.05. That was almost $2 higher. And then your heavier weights were cheaper, and that's kind of been the way it's been here for the last several weeks. But 1,175 head of 8-weight feeder steers in Pratt, Kansas averaged 854 pounds with a weighted average price on all of them of $146.33, and that was about $4 cheaper, and that was pretty much your trend there in Pratt. But very impressive sale, especially on those middleweight calves. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock in Salina, Kansas only had about 1,500 due to the winter storm that was coming across there, getting some pretty deep snows in the northern part of Kansas and up into Nebraska. Southern Kansas, down where Pratt's at, they got along pretty well. But not well tested market there due to the storm that went through Salina, Kansas. Talk about several individual quotes all over the circuit here. How about Stockman's Livestock Exchange, East Barn and Dickinson, North Dakota, 88 head, 683 pound steers, bring $170. How about Orland, California? Don't get to talk about them much. Really good sale out there in the extreme western part of the United States. Orland, California Livestock Commission Yard, they call them yards out there. They sold 71 head, 717 pound steers at $166.50. Now, they weren't scared of them out there. How about Valentine, Nebraska? They always have some of the best quotes there, and they did again on Thursday. The Carnell and Shadbolt cattle there, 90 head of them, weighed 609 at $210. 100 weight, that's pretty darn good there. How about Mitchell, South Dakota, Mitchell Livestock, 5,900 there at Mitchell. Their feeder steers are steady to 3 lower, feeder heifers steady to $2 higher, and the bigger feeder calves were $2 to $10 lower, and we've seen that a lot of places. How about Mitchell's top quote? Only 8-weight steers I saw it bring 160 or better on Thursday. 69 head weight, 802 at $160 smooth. But the best quote that I saw anywhere, if I can get this out, and your Rowgrow top quote for the day, indeed come out of Pratt, Kansas. 104 head of steers weighed 532 at $222.75. That's your feeder flash for Friday.